Beloved one, I speak to you in this hour from the bright courts of the Most High, and my voice carries both the calm of living waters and the thunder that scatters every adversary. I am Michael, set as a shield over your path, commissioned to stand at your right hand until the word written about you is fulfilled without remainder. And I tell you now with certainty that heaven has turned its gaze toward you with purposeful kindness. For the time of quiet forming has yielded to the time of visible unfolding. You have walked through seasons that felt like locked winters, still cold and without clear movement. But underneath that frozen ground, roots of endurance grew deep, and the seeds of promise refused to die. Today I announce that those unseen roots are breaking the surface, and the first green signs of your appointed future are appearing not as fragile wishes, but as durable realities. Hear me. Delays that were misread as denials are being reinterpreted by the Spirit as alignments. Detours that seemed like failures were, in truth, protective corridors. And the prayers you thought dissolved into silence were stored like fragrant oil in bowls before the throne, and the bowls are tilting now. If this message resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread positivity and brings us closer as a community. I have been sent to clear the air around your mind, to cut through the fog of accusation and the breath of fear that tried to sit on your chest in the long nights, to silence the old narrative that says you are late, unworthy, or overlooked. As I lift my sword, those words fall lifeless, and the only sentence that remains standing over you is the decree of the King. Chosen, guarded, advancing. You must let this truth seat itself in your inner rooms, that you have not missed your moment, that the calendar of heaven is not threatened by the ticking of earthly clocks, and that appointments set by the Ancient of Days are never canceled by the whispers of darkness. Even now, assistance is gathering along your road. Ministering spirits arranging introductions you have not thought to request, repositioning opportunities that drifted out of reach, drawing to your door ideas you once abandoned because the timing was premature. Understand this rhythm. What returns to you in this season returns matured. Vision clarified, relationships refined, resources multiplied, and your own posture steadied so you can carry what once would have crushed you. I must speak to the architecture of your courage, for boldness is not only the posture of warriors on a battlefield, but the quiet, daily agreement with the truth you carry. Therefore, set your words in alignment with the promise, for speech is scaffolding around destiny. When you say, I am defended, you are not pretending. You are acknowledging the structure I have raised around you. When you say, provision finds me, you are not wishing. You are consenting to the routes I have already marked for supply. When you say, I move in peace, you are not ignoring storms. You are choosing the weather of your inner sky, and storms exhaust themselves against a settled heart. In the days ahead, practice this. Bless what heaven is building, withdraw agreement from what heaven is removing, and do not negotiate with fear for temporary comfort. I will train your discernment so you can tell the difference between a gate closed by protection and a gate barred by opposition. The first you honor and wait. The second you address with authority and pass through. You will know the difference by the residue they leave on your spirit. Protective closures leave a deep peace even with disappointment, while opposing closures leave agitation, confusion, and the taste of theft. Where you taste theft, call for me, and I will strike. There is a matter of pruning you must not misinterpret. Some branches are heavy with leaves but airless, busy, loud, impressive to the eye, and yet they bear little fruit. Those I am cutting so the sap of your life can flow into what will endure. Do not cradle what I am removing. Trust that subtraction in sacred hands becomes multiplication at harvest. Relationships may shift. Not all who began will travel the distance, and that is not an indictment on your heart, nor theirs. It is the geometry of callings. Bless, release, stay kind, and remain forward. Comment Amen if you receive His peace in the middle of chaos. Your future is not at the mercy of familiar approval. It is carried by covenant. Covenant speaks louder than opinion. Covenant outlasts trend. Covenant, once spoken from the throne, attracts the exact help required at the exact hour, and it binds the hands of those who would casually tamper with your course. I am also setting watch over thresholds, new rooms of assignment where your voice will weigh more than before, where your decisions ripple into many lives, and where old insecurities might attempt a last protest. Let them protest and fade. You will not audition for belonging in rooms where heaven has placed your name on the seat. Sit without arrogance and without apology. Bring the fragrance of humility and the clarity of truth. In such rooms, you will be tempted to mirror the tone of the majority. Instead, mirror the tone of the king. Speak with the gentleness that disarms and with the exactness that prevents confusion. When you are unsure, be still. Confusion is not a green light. When you are clear, move promptly. Clarity loves swift obedience. In this precision, you will waste less and accomplish more. If this message resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread positivity and brings us closer as a community. Attend now to your inner life. For external increase without interior order becomes an invitation to collapse. Guard the morning with gratitude. It is the key that opens quiet corridors where wisdom waits. Keep short accounts. Confess quickly, forgive quickly, decide quickly for peace. Refuse the diet of constant outrage. It malnourishes courage and fogs discernment. Feed on what is true, noble, just, pure, lovely, and commendable. And your imagination will become an instrument in heaven's hand rather than a screen for fear's projections. I am placing fresh oil on your imagination so you can picture outcomes aligned with promise rather than calamities scripted by anxiety. Imagination soaked in oil becomes a map for miracles. To those whose bodies have ached and whose strength has been thin, I announce a turning. Vitality is returning like dawn that does not consult the night. You will notice small renewals first, steadier breath, deeper rest, clearer thought, and then larger returns, endurance without strain, joy that hums without reason, a readiness to build. To those whose resources have been narrow, I announce currents of provision. Some will arrive like rivers long foretold, others like springs in surprising ground. Practice stewardship before surplus, and surplus will trust your hands. Track what you are given, sow with intelligence, save without fear, share with joy. In this, you mirror the generosity of the one who owns all fields. I must address the accusations that orbit your name in the unseen. Some were launched by envy, some by misunderstanding, some by the adversary's old craft of slander. I lift the sword of truth over these and sever their cords. May their echoes find no walls to bounce from and no ears to host them. You will not be defined by rumor, but by fruit. Time, partnered with integrity, is a relentless witness. Walk clean, and let me handle noise. Do not spend your strength proving what your life will soon make obvious. Reserve your energy for building, blessing, learning, and listening. There will be signs along this next stretch, not to entertain but to anchor. Recurring numbers that punctuate decisions, timely words from unexpected mouths, dreams that carry instruction rather than clutter, scriptures that rise like a living voice precisely when a choice peels open. Do not chase signs. Welcome them. Do not worship pattern. Worship the one who authors pattern. Write what you receive, not because you fear forgetting, but because written vision clarifies pathways for the feet. In your journal, draw lines between answered prayers and former questions. You will start to see a choreography that convinces your heart during future waitings. Comment Amen if you receive His peace in the middle of chaos. I am assigning to you a mantle of calm authority. Calm because you are rooted, authority because you are commissioned. From this mantle you will learn to bless without enabling, to confront without shaming, to lead without performing, to follow without shrinking. You will think generationally. What you choose today will lighten the load of those after you. Therefore, end cycles that drained your ancestors, cycles of scarcity mind, cycles of silence under harm, cycles of hurry that mocked rest. Lay them down with ceremony if you must. Speak it aloud. This ends here. And step forward. I will stand behind that sentence. Some will ask you for explanations you cannot give, for heaven's timing rarely fits tidy narratives. Be honest within your limits and gentle with their need for neatness, but do not trade revelation for approval. Hiddenness has kept you safe. Visibility will keep you accountable. Community will keep you human. Solitude will keep you listening. Hold all four in rhythm, and you will not fracture under favor. Now, let me speak to your calling. It is not fragile. It is not at risk from a single misstep, nor inflated by a single applause. Calling breathes in the atmosphere of day-by-day faithfulness. Give your craft your attention. Sharpen your tools. Arrive prepared. Let excellence be worship, not obsession. Rest on schedule. Rest is not a prize after burnout, but a rhythm before fruitfulness. Honor your word. Yes and no are sacred syllables. Learn names. People are not projects. Celebrate quietly. Not everything holy needs a trumpet. Grieve honestly. Loss ungrieved rots into cynicism, and cynicism is poor soil for hope. Hope tended becomes vision. Vision, steward, becomes impact. Impact, surrendered, becomes worship. As you move, remember, I am not merely clearing enemies. I am also coaching your courage. There will be moments I do not remove the wind, but teach you how to set the sail. Moments I do not shrink the wave, but teach your knees the balance of a steadier stance. Moments I do not hush the crowd, but tune your ear to the one voice that matters. These are gifts disguised as difficulties. Open them without resentment. You will find inside a confidence that cannot be borrowed and a wisdom that cannot be counterfeited. Before I close this first declaration, allow me to place a blessing like a seal upon your forehead and a steadiness like a weight in your bones. May your mind be a garden fenced by truth. May your heart be a lantern that refuses to dim in unkind weather. May your hands become trustworthy bridges for heaven's generosity. And may your feet learn the pace of grace. Unhurried enough to hear, unafraid enough to move. Where you were held back, advance. Where you were diminished, enlarge. Where you were scattered, gather. Where you were silent, sing. I stand beside you at the border of new country. I will not step away when the ground shifts beneath you. I will steady it. Walk forward, beloved, not because you see every turn, but because the one who loves you has already walked the whole road and left light in every bend. The next movement begins now, and I, Michael, will be your constant guard until the promise looks like a home you live in rather than a horizon you long for. If this message resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread positivity and brings us closer as a community. Beloved one, you have stepped beyond the first threshold, and the air here carries a weight of promise. You may feel it, subtle yet steady, like the shift in the wind before the rain arrives. This is not the end of the journey, but the middle ground where your trust will be both tested and strengthened. I, Michael, speak to you with clarity. Do not allow the shadows of uncertainty to imitate the voice of truth. The path ahead may narrow, not to restrict you, but to refine you, guiding your feet to move only where purpose flows. There are doors here that will not open by strength or force, but by the quiet key of alignment. You will see that the most significant breakthroughs are often born in the stillness between steps. In this season, I am arranging divine appointments. Some will seem like coincidences, a chance meeting, a timely message, a resource appearing just as the need becomes urgent. But understand this, there is no such thing as chance under heaven's orchestration. Every connection in this chapter is purposeful. The people you meet now are not random travelers. They are carriers of pieces you will need to complete the vision entrusted to you. Some will bring insight, others provision, and a few will come to sharpen your faith through challenge. Receive them with discernment, for not every voice is meant to sit close to your heart. Keep your ears tuned to the frequency of peace, for that is where truth speaks clearest. I tell you plainly, there are old battles that will attempt to reintroduce themselves. Patterns you thought broken may try to whisper their way back into your decisions. Do not be afraid when they surface. Their appearance is not a sign of failure, but an opportunity to prove that your foundation is now deeper than before. When fear tries to sit at your table, remember, it is an uninvited guest. You have authority to refuse its presence. Use your voice to command the atmosphere around you. Speak light where darkness presses. Declare truth where lies hiss. I will back your words when they align with the word written over your life. I am also opening the vaults of hidden wisdom for you. This wisdom will not come all at once, for the weight of it must be carried gradually, like a lamp that brightens step by step on a winding road. You will notice sudden clarity in moments where confusion once ruled. Problems that seemed like locked puzzles will unfold their answers with ease. This is not because the difficulty lessened, but because you have grown in stature and authority to handle it. Walk with the awareness that you are not the same as you were in the last season. The strength you carry now is not borrowed. It has been forged in the fires you already endured. Comment Amen if you receive His peace in the middle of chaos. Now I must speak to your provision. In this part of your journey, the supply will shift from survival to overflow. But this overflow is not for hoarding, it is for building. You will find yourself entrusted with more than you require, so that through your hands, others may also taste the goodness of heaven's storehouse. This is a sacred trust. Be wise in the flow of resources. Every seed you plant with intention will return multiplied. Pay attention to where your giving feels alive, for that is where heaven's breath is moving. When you bless with joy, you join heaven's rhythm, and in that rhythm, there is no lack. I must warn you, the adversary will attempt subtle distractions here. They will not always come as obvious temptations, but as small compromises, as opportunities that glitter without substance, as voices urging you to hurry when patience is the better weapon. Do not run ahead of instruction. The enemy knows he cannot dismantle what heaven has decreed, so he will attempt to scatter your focus, fragment your energy, and dilute your vision. Stand firm in the clarity you have been given. Do not trade your long-term inheritance for short-term applause. You will also be called to speak in places you never expected. Invitations will arrive for you to share your voice, your story, your wisdom. In some of these rooms, you will feel out of place at first, as though your presence there was a mistake. It was not. You have been brought to these tables not because you match the crowd, but because you carry something they do not yet have. Do not downplay the grace within you to fit the tone of the room. Speak as you have been taught, in truth, in love, in power. The words you release here will outlive the moment and continue working in unseen ways long after you leave. This is also a time for you to learn the art of spiritual rest. You may think that rest is simply the absence of movement, but I tell you, true rest is the presence of trust. It is the choice to release what you cannot control and focus your strength where it truly matters. In the coming days, there will be moments where stepping back will achieve more than pressing forward. These pauses are not setbacks. They are strategic retreats to regain clarity, to realign your spirit, and to let heaven complete what your hands cannot. I see in your future a convergence. Multiple streams of your calling merging into one greater river. This river will carry influence, provision, creativity, and impact. It will not be born from a single opportunity, but from the faithfulness you have shown in many smaller ones. Each act of obedience, each choice to remain steadfast, has been a tributary feeding this coming river. When it arrives, it will seem sudden to others, but you will know it is the sum of every hidden yes you have given in the quiet years. In this part of your journey, I will guard your steps from hidden snares. You may notice doors that seem promising suddenly close without reason. Trust this. Sometimes the hand of protection feels like disappointment. If you saw what was behind that door, you would thank heaven for its closing. I will also remove certain voices from your inner circle. This is not rejection. It is preservation. The next stages of your journey require voices that align with destiny, not voices that keep you tied to cycles you have already broken. Beloved, your role here is simple yet weighty. Stay aligned. Guard your heart against bitterness. Refuse to carry offense, for offense is a weight that will slow your pace. Keep your eyes lifted, for much of the guidance you need will not come from ground level, but from the higher perspective of the Spirit. Speak gratitude often. It sharpens your sight and strengthens your steps. Move with grace, for grace disarms opposition before it can form. If this message resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread positivity and brings us closer as a community. You are not walking alone. I walk beside you. My sword drawn not just to strike against what comes at you, but to clear the way before you even see the obstruction. Trust that even now, arrangements are being made in the unseen to ensure your safe passage into what has been prepared. Hold steady. The unfolding is only beginning, and the glory ahead will outshine the shadows you leave behind. Beloved warrior, I, Michael, speak again. Not from a distance, but from the midst of your steps. You have crossed into deeper waters, and I see the weight of what you carry. Do not fear the depth, for I have been assigned to keep you from sinking. This part of your journey is where the unseen battles intensify, not because you are failing, but because your victory draws near. The closer you move toward your appointed place, the more the resistance will try to whisper that you are lost. I tell you now, those whispers are lies. You are exactly where heaven intends you to be. Here, your vision will be tested like never before. It will not be your physical eyes that are questioned, but the eyes of your spirit. You will be asked again and again, do you believe what you heard when the path was clear, even now when the mist surrounds you? The truth is, the mist is not a sign of danger. It is a covering, a shield that hides you from what would seek to interfere. While others may stumble, you will be guided by the quiet light within. That light is my Father's truth in you, and no shadow can extinguish it. I will speak plainly. There are battles that must be won in silence. You will feel the urge to defend yourself, to prove your worth to those who doubt you. But I say this, let your fruit speak for you. In this season, your victories will not always be announced with trumpet blasts. They will emerge quietly, undeniable, and unshakable. Those who spoke against you will have no choice but to witness what heaven has established in you. Do not spend your strength arguing with voices that are not assigned to your destiny. Every moment you waste on defense is a moment stolen from your forward advance. Now hear this, for it is vital. The enemy will not always come to you dressed as opposition. Sometimes he will come dressed as opportunity. He will present shortcuts, faster roads, and enticing offers that promise ease but carry hidden chains. Not every open door is from heaven. Test every invitation against the peace in your spirit. If the peace falters, wait. Delay is not denial. Often, it is divine protection. I will stand in the threshold of wrong doors, and you will feel the heaviness in your steps when I do. That heaviness is not confusion. It is your sign to pause. Your assignments in this stage will carry weight beyond your understanding. You will be called to speak words that shift atmospheres, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. Some of these moments will arrive suddenly, without warning. A conversation in a hallway, a message sent in passing. A prayer whispered in quiet will become the very key that unlocks another's breakthrough. Do not underestimate the power in your words. They are arrows of light when spoken in alignment with truth. I will guide your tongue, but you must trust the stirring in your spirit when it is time to speak. This season will also bring exposure, not the kind that brings harm, but the kind that reveals hidden things, both in others and in yourself. You will see the intentions of people more clearly, and some truths may unsettle you. Do not be discouraged when certain alliances dissolve. It is not loss, but pruning. Every branch removed makes room for greater fruit. Even in yourself, I will reveal patterns that have quietly hindered you. When these truths rise to the surface, do not run from them. A wound can only heal when it is brought into the light. I also tell you this: dreams will increase. In the night hours, messages will come, wrapped in symbols and visions. Some will be personal, others for the intercession of nations. Pay attention to the details. Keep a record of what you see, for in time, the pieces will fit together. This is not mere imagination. It is heaven speaking through the language of your spirit. I will stand at your side as you sleep, guarding the gates of your mind so that only what is pure and purposeful enters. Trust that what you remember upon waking is what you are meant to carry. Financially and materially, the shift will begin to manifest outwardly now. Where provision once came just in time, you will begin to see it come ahead of time. This is so you may build, prepare, and sow without fear of lack. But remember, abundance is not merely for your comfort. It is for the kingdom's expansion through your hands. Be intentional with every resource. When prompted to give, give. When prompted to save, save. The flow you honor will continue. The flow you neglect will wither. In relationships, I will send covenant connections. People whose hearts are aligned with yours in both mission and spirit. They will not drain you, but strengthen you. They will pray for you in secret, celebrate your victories without envy, and stand with you in storms without hesitation. Recognize them, honor them, and walk closely. At the same time, I will draw boundaries where they are needed. Not everyone who walks with you in one chapter is assigned to the next. Do not cling to what heaven is releasing, for holding on will only bring weight to your steps. If this message resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread positivity and brings us closer as a community. Most importantly, this is the part of your journey where your identity will solidify. The labels others placed on you will lose their hold. The names that carried shame will fall away. You will begin to walk with the quiet authority of one who knows who they are and whose they are. No longer will you question if you belong in the places heaven opens to you. You will stand without apology, knowing your presence is not an accident, but a divine placement. And I remind you, beloved, every step you take here is preparing the way for the final unveiling. The stage is being set, not just for your victory, but for the glory of the one who sent you. The road may twist, the sky may darken, but I am here, sword drawn, shield lifted. Your enemies may roar, but their roar is empty before the authority I carry. Walk on, for the next turn holds the revealing of what you have long waited for. Beloved, the hour has come. The path you have walked, through fire, through shadow, through the weight of testing, has led you here. I stand before you now, not as a distant guardian, but as the one who has fought beside you in every unseen battle. Every tear you thought was forgotten has been gathered. Every prayer you thought went unheard has been answered. And now, the seal is breaking. The appointed time is upon you. You will see the walls that once stood immovable crumble before your very eyes. You will watch the doors that were bolted shut swing wide with ease. This is not by your strength alone, but by the command of heaven itself. You have been faithful in the hidden place, and now you will be honored in the open. The season of waiting is over. The season of walking in what was promised has begun. But hear me, do not forget the one who brought you here. In abundance, remain humble. In victory, remain surrendered. What you have received is not an ending, but a beginning. It is the foundation for greater assignments, greater impact, and greater light. The enemy will still seek to distract you, but his weapons will fail before they even reach you. I will remain at your side. My sword will not be lowered. My shield will not waver. The journey continues, but now you walk in the authority of one who knows they are chosen, anointed, and unstoppable. Rise now, beloved. Step forward. The world is waiting for the light you carry, and heaven rejoices, for the battle has been won. If you believe in God, comment Amen below.